That night when we were filling out our GA-Cal college choices, I fell out with my childhood sweetheart Jason. Just because I helped Lily Lee research her list and didn't help you, Jason, you didn't understand. Summer, even if you're jealous, can you pick the right time and place? Lily looked aggrieved. Summer, if you're not okay with this, I'll give Jason back to you right now. I forced myself to say fine. Jason's face turned dark, and he pulled Lily behind him. Summer, if you keep this up, I won't talk to you for 10 days as punishment. Jason only thought I was throwing a spoiled princess tantrum. Scare me a bit now and coax me later and it would be fine. So he crossed the line again and got closer and closer to the poor student. But what Jason didn't know was that I had really decided to give him up. I filled out my choices on my own and at the last minute switched to a university up north, the one farthest from him. Our relationship also ended that summer when we were 18. When I found Jason at the internet cafe, his hand was resting on Lily Lee's shoulder, and the two of them had their heads pressed together as they flipped through the college application guide. The closeness looked ambiguous, like a little couple. I walked up, took off the custom couple's necklace he'd given me, and tossed it in front of him. Jason, let's break up. I glanced at Lily, then looked back at Jason. Don't come looking for me again. I threw a little fit and turned to leave. Jason hurriedly let go of her, exasperated. When are you going to rein in that princess temper? He pointed at the computer screen, his tone edged with blame. We're here filling out choices just fine. Why are you here making a mess? Making a mess? I could only find it ridiculous. Since you think I'm here to make a mess, then from now on we'll go our separate ways. Just because I helped Lily Lee research her choices and didn't help you, Jason, you don't understand. Summer, even if you're jealous, can you pick the right time and place? The elders in our families cared a lot about Jason's and my gal plans. Our two families had arranged in advance that after the scores came out, we would fill out the applications together and have dinner. But when the time came, Jason bailed at the last minute and was nowhere to be seen. My aunt had already finished cooking. We were all just waiting on Jason alone. Half an hour passed. My parents asked Uncle Song, "Does Jason have something going on that's more important than filling out his choices?" Uncle Song gave an awkward smile and couldn't say why. He's usually punctual. I don't know what happened today. He suddenly rushed out just now. After a moment, Uncle Song glanced at me and hurried to smooth things over. It's okay. Summer and Jason both did well on the exam. And didn't they agree to go to Southern University together? Since the school is already decided, it's fine to submit a bit later. Jason was thoughtless this time. Next time we'll take the kids ourselves. When school starts, I'll treat everyone to make it right. In the end, the dinner broke up unhappily and the plan to fill out the forms together fell through. I asked in the class group chat, "Has anyone seen Jason's song?" A classmate replied, "I saw Jason at the internet cafe with Lily Lee. That's why I just stormed into the cafe like that." Lily looked aggrieved and said, "Summer, if you're not okay with this, I'll give Jason back to you right now." I answered stiffly, "Fine." Seeing the tears in Lily's eyes, Jason's face turned ugly and he pulled her behind him. "I'm the class monitor. It's my duty to help classmates who need it. Lily's family doesn't have a computer, so I brought her to the internet cafe to look things up and taught her how to fill out her choices. Is that wrong, Summer? If you keep this up, I won't talk to you for 10 days as punishment." Before, whenever something happened, Jason's song was always the first to step in front of me. Now he was actually yelling at me in public for an outsider. In an instant, it all felt meaningless. I didn't argue back. Jason thought I'd compromised. That's more like it. We're going to the same university anyway. What does it matter whether we fill out the forms together or not? 4 or 5 classmates from our homeroom were also in the internet cafe, craning their necks to watch the drama between us childhood sweethearts. Haven't you noticed? Ever since Lily Lee transferred into our class, Summer and Jason have been getting worse and worse. You can catch them arguing every now and then. Did our class monitor fall for someone else and make Summer mad? Lily's been leaning on that new transfer status and asking Jason for help with all kinds of things. They're practically glued together. How is anyone supposed not to mind? Only Summer could put up with that. Of course, some classmates took my side. It's everyone's first time filling out college choices. We didn't go begging the class monitor for help. If you ask me, Li's scheming. She's just looking for chances to get close to Jason. I bypassed Jason and sat down beside Lily. College choices, right? I'll help you. Hearing that, Lily stiffened. She reflexively refused and glanced at Jason, wanting to say something but stopping. But Jason and I are only halfway through. If you butt in all of a sudden, it'll slow us down. I looked at the screen. Lily's first choice was South City University. Her second choice was also South City University, with a nearby 2-year college listed under it. The third choice was still blank. From what I knew, Lily's GPA made South City a bit of a reach. Her first 2 choices made her intentions pretty obvious. Lily grew flustered and hurried to explain. Summer, don't get the wrong idea. I picked South City because it's close to home. You know, my family's situation isn't great. I can't go too far. As she spoke, she couldn't help sniffling like I was the one bullying her. I didn't offer her a way out. Didn't you say you didn't know how to fill these out? Then, as the academic rep, I should be helping you. Seeing Lily's eyes well up, Jason yanked me aside. Summer, do you have to make this so awkward for all of us? He raised his voice. Lily's family background isn't like ours. If she messes up these choices, she might never make it out of the mountains. Go home right now. Stop making a scene here. You're scaring Lily. Lily. So that's how intimately he called her in private. Jason's volume jumped several notches and it startled me. I shivered without meaning to. I couldn't hold back my tears. I couldn't believe the boy I'd grown up with, my childhood friend, suddenly felt so unfamiliar. You're yelling at me, Jason. You're actually yelling at me for Lily Lee. Don't regret it. If I walk out that door alone today, then we're done for good. In the past, whenever Jason saw me cry, he would panic and think of ways to coax me right away. This time he didn't move at all, his face like frost. Don't regret it, I repeated. After I walked out, I heard Lily behind me whisper to Jason. Jason, if the academic rep really stops talking to you after this, what will you do? Jason let out a small scoff and didn't take it to heart. He figured I just had that spoiled princess temper. But this time he didn't want to indulge me. In his mind, he could just go back later, coax me a little, and everything would be fine. After I left the internet cafe, a heavy rain hit on the way. I hadn't brought an umbrella and was drenched halfway home, so I could only take shelter under a bus stop. Thunder rumbled. The night looked frightening, and 2 little kids 7 or 8 years old were standing there too. The boy held the girl's hand tight. Don't be scared. I'll take you home in a minute. Watching them, I fell into a memory. When I was 5, my parents were busy with work and temporarily left me with the songs. I didn't know the neighborhood, felt uneasy, and didn't dare cry because I missed my parents so much. I once got lost in the villa community and couldn't find my way back. I cried alone for a long time. Jason's song was coming back from playing ball with his friends when he saw me sobbing by the road. He crouched down and held out his hand. Who bullied you? I'll take you home. Don't be afraid. That day, he held my hand and taught me to read the street signs and house numbers. Got it memorized? Next time, look for number 32 and you won't get lost. Worried I'd forget, Jason pointed to the osmanthus tree by their front door. When you smell osmanthus, you've found home. I nodded and nodded. After that, afraid I'd wander off again, he would go out with me every time. But now it felt like everything had changed. I glanced back once toward the internet cafe and made an important decision in my heart. I stumbled home alone, a mess. Aunt Linda asked what happened, and all of a sudden I felt a wave of relief. I rushed out and forgot my umbrella, I said. Without even changing clothes, I went straight to the study. Dad followed me in, looking worried. Summer, what happened? There's a problem, I said. I need to make an adjustment. I shook my head. Dad, I want to go to Capital University. Dad looked puzzled. Weren't you and Jason planning to go to Southern University together? I didn't hide what I was thinking. Dad, Jason and I broke up. From now on, I want to try for Capital University. Dad was stunned for a moment. Your score is enough for Capital University. I nodded and showed him my marks, 30 points over Capital's cutoff. Dad lit up with joy, patted my shoulder and said, Kiddo, getting into Capital and you didn't say? I'm so happy. Whatever you decide, I'll always support you. It wasn't just my family who didn't know. Jason didn't know either. My score could actually get me into Capital University. I'd only defaulted to Southern because of the promise I'd made to him. That night at midnight, I saw Lily Lee post a side profile photo of Jason at the computer. She wrote on her moments, "Our class monitor is so kind. He helped me fill out my choices and even treated me to a late-night snack. Please let fate smile on me. As a humble prayer for doing one good deed today, may I be admitted to Southern University." A little red dot appeared on the post soon after. I saw that Jason had liked it and commented, "Lily, you made me look so handsome. Save that pic." An unreasonable sourness rose in my chest. It hurt. And it wasn't the first time I'd felt this way. In the first semester of senior year, our homeroom teacher, Mr. Parker, brought Lily Lee into our class out of the blue. "This is Lily Lee," he said. "She ranked first through the township recommendation program. She just transferred to our class this term and has a lot to get used to." Back then, everyone was told to help her out more. When Mr. Parker stopped by Jason Song's desk with Lily Lee, he introduced them. "Jason is our class monitor. If you run into anything you don't understand, you can ask him." Lily politely reached out her hand, a little shy. "Hi, class monitor. Please look out for me from now on." Before she even finished, her face visibly flushed. Jason nodded and without realizing it, his ears turned red too. A bunch of classmates hooped. "Whoa, the monitor's ears are red now. That's rare. The transfer student is so pretty. Those soft, watery eyes, who wouldn't be moved?" Only when Jason said, "Quiet," did everyone stop talking. Quietly took it all in. Lily started running to Jason's desk whenever she had something or nothing. One day after school, I'd agreed with Jason to get ice cream together. I waited at the school gate for ages and never saw him. When I went back to the classroom to check, Lily was holding a strawberry ice cream, tilting her head at him. "Class monitor, have an ice cream." The anger I'd been holding down burst out. "Jason, do you know how long I waited for you? And you're here eating ice cream." Jason saw me and quickly pulled his hand back. "I was just going to find you. Lily asked me to wait a second." Lily, flustered, explained, "Academic rep, I only wanted to thank the class monitor, so I thought I'd treat him to an ice cream." I suddenly remembered I'd made a plan with Jason at noon to get ice cream, and Lily had happened to be right there. Apparently, that night she'd gotten there first and treated Jason. I snatched the ice cream from Lily's hand and tossed it into the trash. "Don't you know Jason's allergic to strawberries? And you give him strawberry ice cream?" Lily's naturally pretty peach blossom eyes filled with tears at once. "I'm sorry, class monitor. I didn't know. I didn't do it on purpose." She glanced at the ice cream in the trash. "That ice cream cost me 20 yuan. What a waste." Then she looked at me, her voice catching. "Summer, do you have a problem with me? I feel like you don't like me." I didn't hide my feelings anymore. "You're not wrong. I don't like you." Seeing things escalate, Jason stepped in to stop it. "Summer, don't go too far. Lily just wanted to treat me to an ice cream. What's wrong with that?" That day, Jason protected Lily for the first time, stood on the opposite side from me, and we had a huge fight. We never did get ice cream. We gave each other the cold shoulder for a week. In the end, Jason came to my house with a bunch of different flavors and apologized until I finally softened. Once a crack forms between people, it's hard to go back. Ever since Lily showed up, Jason kept arguing with me for her again and again. We stopped going home together after school. When the bell rang, I waited for Jason like usual. He said he had to tutor Lily first just because I had a private tutor at home, and Lily's family couldn't afford one. When he started putting Lily first in everything, I grew tired of what we had. My phone suddenly buzzed, snapping me out of it. One unread message. It was from Jason. "Summer, since you didn't make things hard for Lily the other day, your 18th birthday is in 10 days. Tell me what you want and I'll give you a big surprise." I ignored it and immediately blocked him. Then I called a college senior I'd met in 11th grade at a physics competition, a Capital University upperclassman. On the phone, Ethan John sounded excited. "Summer, welcome to Capital University," Ethan said. "I remember you mentioned you love working on robots. You should join our club here at Capital. What you learn and the way your horizons open up will definitely be better than staying in South City." We hit it off immediately. I answered him on the spot. "See you at Capital. No excuses." Ethan already knew I'd wanted to stay in South City for Jason's sake, and had been talking me through it for a while. You can't stay stuck in place, he told me. Don't sacrifice yourself for a relationship. Birds are meant to fly out and see the world. Shine in your own way. No one should sacrifice for anyone else. I sat in the study and mapped out my plan for reporting to Capital University, plus a graduation trip after the GA-Cal. Turns out I wasn't bound to Jason after all. When I finally finished, I noticed my deskmate Zoe had called me several times with voice messages. When I didn't pick up, she sent a stream of texts. Summer, where'd you go? Why aren't you answering? Summer, did you see Lily Lee's new post? The birthday bracelet. You wanted it. Why is it on Lily's wrist? Lily had posted a close-up of the bracelet on her wrist with the caption, his graduation gift. This limited edition bracelet is the one I've always wanted. I mentioned it to Jason before and he played coy. He said he had a surprise for me. The thing I'd once wanted most was on someone else's hand. And suddenly I didn't want it anymore, even if it was from Jason. But when I looked closely at that bracelet, I couldn't help laughing. I opened my drawer, snapped a photo and replied to Zoe, that one's a fake. The one and only limited edition is lying in my drawer right now. My dad bought it as my reward. Zoe compared my genuine bracelet carefully, then checked Lily's post again. She went straight to the comments under Lily's moments and wrote, bold move flaunting a knockoff here. I don't know which classmates spectating the drama took the counterfeit bracelet thing and posted it on the school forum, but the thread ran to over 100 replies and blew up everywhere. Lily quickly hid that post. The next time I saw Jason was when the admission notices came out. The school told us to come back to campus, and a red honor roll list was posted beneath the academic building, packed with people. Jason walked up the steps, and our classmates crowded around to congratulate him. Congrats on getting into Southern University, class monitor. Ryan Wong, our sports rep, noticed Jason had come alone and glanced at the empty space beside him. He asked without thinking, where's Summer? Why didn't she come with you? Some classmates who knew a bit started to pry. Don't tell me you're still giving each other the cold shoulder. Jason didn't deny it. There's just one day left, and our Cold War will be over. Then we'll make up. Ryan looked impressed. That's our class monitor. Got the charm. You've totally got our academic rep wrapped around your finger. Summer doesn't stand a chance. Somebody in the crowd suddenly said, huh? You and Summer didn't put down the same university. Summer got into Capital University. I remember when you two wrote your targets on the wish wall. You both wrote Southern. Jason's expression froze. No way. Summer and I decided ages ago we were applying to Southern. The classmates who had checked the red list spoke up. Summer didn't apply to Southern at all. She applied to Capital University 1,000 miles away. You two, one in the south, one in the north. You'll be really far apart. Jason stood there on the spot, his face turning to stone. Impossible. He must be mistaken. He couldn't bring himself to believe it. Jason squeezed forward to read the admission list, and the smile on his face froze in an instant. It was as if every sound around him vanished. A buzz rang in his head. He checked the names in our class again and again. Summer, Capital University. Impossible. We clearly agreed. After confirming it was correct, his face went ashen and he couldn't get a word out. The people around us didn't dare make a sound. I was late because I'd gone to the principal's office. Yes, I said when I arrived I applied to Capital University. My classmates immediately crowded around to congratulate me. Academic rep, you hit it so well. Got into Capital and didn't tell us. Summer, you're the pride of Class 3. Don't forget us when you're rich. So impressive. Class 3's shining star. I thought you only ever wanted Southern, but you went straight for Capital. Now we've got connections there too. I smiled back. I didn't expect to do that well on the Gaokao either. If I can go to Capital, why would I still choose Southern? Am I right? Jason saw me and looked like he wanted to ask something, but the teacher from the school publicity office had already pulled me over for an interview. As I turned, I saw Lily Lee clutching her admission notice and hurrying toward Jason. Jason, she said, even though Southern didn't accept me, my school is right across from your university. We can still meet up often. She lifted the notice in her hand. Thank you for putting so much care into helping me with my choices. A small knot of onlookers hovered nearby. Jason's expression was awful, like a bomb ready to go off at the slightest touch. He ignored Lily and said flatly, "As long as you have a school to attend." Sensing something was off with his mood, Lily spoke softly. "Jason, my mom said she wants to thank you for helping me fill out my choices, and would like to invite you to our home for dinner. If you don't mind us catching a leftover opportunity, I'll wait for you at the school gate this afternoon." Jason watched me disappear with the reporters and seemed a little at a loss. Beside him, Gavin Jang couldn't help asking, "Class monitor? You didn't get strung along, did you?" Jason stayed silent for a beat, then quickly shifted gears. "No, I know Summer. She's relied on me since we were kids. Even if she goes to Capital, she can't bear to leave me." Seeing Lily, something seemed to click for him. "If Summer wants to pull a big move, then I'll show her how mad I can be." He looked at Lily's retreating back and ran after her. "Lily, I'll come. I'll go to your house for dinner this afternoon." When my parents first left me with the songs, I was quiet and rarely spoke. Jason thought I was introverted, that we didn't communicate much, or that maybe I didn't like him. In first grade, the naughty boys at school often gave me nicknames and called me Little Deaf Girl. After school one day, Jason called after me and I didn't hear him. He caught up a bit upset. "You ignore classmates at school. Fine. But why are you ignoring me when I call you?" I read his lips and hurried to explain. "I got too wrapped up thinking about homework. I didn't notice you." Jason tapped me lightly on the head. "Dummy. Then I'll just have to run and catch up to you." Until one day when the housekeeper went out to buy groceries and forgot to turn off the soup on the stove. My secret couldn't stay hidden. When smoke started in the kitchen, Jason smelled the burning and rushed downstairs, shouting at the top of his lungs, "Summer, run!" In the chaos, when I saw the flames roaring, I was at a total loss and hid in a corner. In a panic, Jason rushed over, dragged me under the osmanthus tree, and called the fire department. Afterward, with a mix of scolding and fear, he said, "Summer, do you know how dangerous that was? Why didn't you answer when I called you? Were you terrified?" When I saw a lot of people coming into the yard, I told Jason the truth, trembling. "I'm sorry. During the spring festival back home, firecrackers damaged my ears and I couldn't hear for a while. I was afraid you'd look down on me, so I kept pretending I could hear." From then on, Jason never let me near the kitchen. Because of this, he asked Uncle Song to arrange a hospital surgery for me, and my hearing slowly came back. When I came out of the operation, I truly heard Jason's voice for the first time. He pointed at his ear and gestured in front of me. "Summer, can you hear?" I nodded obediently. That day he told me, "You don't have to pretend. The real you is just fine. From now on, this is your home." Jason and I grew closer and closer. We went to and from school together every day, and other kids envied us. When I reached middle school, my dad came back to take me home. But I was already used to living with the songs and couldn't bear to leave. I set a condition and cried as I begged my dad. "Could you let me stay until I graduated middle school? If I get first in the whole school on the high school entrance exam, will you let me keep living in South City?" Dad had no choice but to agree. So I studied like crazy every day, asking teachers questions whenever I didn't understand something. Jason even complained that all I did was study and that I ignored him. That year I lived up to it and took first in the entire city. Dad moved his company back to South City and bought our family a house across from Jason's villa community. When Dad brought me home, Jason helped me pack and joked, "You're suddenly so far from me. I'm not used to it." A moment later he got very serious. "Summer, let's get into the same university, okay? That way we'll never be separated." I nodded and agreed. "Then let's aim for the most famous school in South City, South City University." All right. That summer, after the entrance exam, Jason took me to visit South City University. We took a photo together at the gate and promised to come back in 3 years. A teenage girl's secret hopes grew wild in that moment. But ever since Lily Lee appeared, everything changed, and our relationship ended in the year after she came. After the interview, I went to our homeroom teacher to pick up my admission letter, and got back to our neighborhood gate around 10 o'clock. As soon as I turned on my phone, I saw Lily's new text post. "He looks a little cute when he's drunk." Those ambiguous lines read like a triumphant claim. From far away, I saw Jason leaning against that same osmanthus tree. I was about to take a detour when he called out to me. I stopped. Even from a distance I could smell the alcohol on him. I sniffed. "You've been drinking." Jason's face was flushed rosy. "I just had a little," he said. "Why didn't you tell me about your applications?" His eyes grew red, his voice starting to choke. "Didn't we agree to go to Southern together? Now you're headed to the capital. What am I supposed to do alone in South City?" Jason punched the osmanthus tree, pulled me into his arms, and struggled to keep his emotions in check. "Summer, why did you decide this on your own and not tell me?" I shoved him hard and let everything I'd been holding in explode. "Weren't you the one who said we should each fill out our own choices? It's not like Southern is the only school for me. I'll choose wherever I want. You don't get to control me." Jason staggered back a couple of steps and gave an awkward laugh. "So, at the end of the day, you're still jealous because I helped Lily Lee with her applications. Can you be a little more generous?" He looked aggrieved, came over and slowly took my hand. "In the past, whenever we fought, he'd come make peace by holding my hand. If I didn't pull away, it meant I'd cooled off. This time I pried his fingers open one by one, ruthless and final. "Jason, this is where we end." He started toward me again, but I didn't know when Lily had shown up inside the complex. In a soft voice she called, "Class monitor, wait for me." She was holding a bag of chocolates, the brand I usually liked. She walked up to Jason and handed him the gift bag, a little nervous. "Jason, you forgot your stuff. You left it at my house on the sofa." She deliberately stressed the words "my house," as if afraid I wouldn't catch it. I snatched the bag and laid into her. "That sweet coy act is old. Time to change it up. And please don't insult my intelligence with those pitiful theatrics." Jason didn't follow me this time and didn't respond to Lily either. I shoved the chocolates back at him and an envelope slipped out, a love letter addressed to Jason. He blurted, flustered. "The chocolates are the ones I bought for you. The letter isn't from me." I smiled and stuffed the letter into his hand too. "It's from Lily. She's confessing to you. Go ahead and answer her." As I turned to leave, I told him, "Jason, I don't like chocolate anymore." On the day of my 18th birthday banquet, I didn't invite Jason, but he showed up anyway. He took out a gift box, his voice gentle in a way I hadn't heard in a long time. "Summer, happy 18th. This is a custom summer bracelet. There's only one in the world. It stands for how I feel about you." During dinner, while our families talked, Uncle Song stood up to speak, full of feeling. He congratulated me on getting into Capital. "I've watched Summer grow up, and she's only become more outstanding. If only our Jason had scored a bit higher, they could have gone to Capital together. Then he could hold on to such a wonderful girl." I understood the implication and picked up the thread. "Uncle Song, those childhood promises don't count. Jason is excellent too. I wish him success in his studies and that he finds a girlfriend soon." The deliberate distance was clear. Jason's face grew darker and darker as he lifted his cup to toast everyone. I slipped out to meet my Capital University upperclassmen. Ethan lived in the same villa community as we did, and when he heard I was having a half-birthday banquet, he came by to congratulate me. I ran up excited. "You're here, Ethan." Jason was standing at the window, scowling. On the stairs, his big hand yanked me into the stairwell. "Who is he?" he demanded. I didn't hide it. "A senior from Capital." Jason's grip on my hand tightened, his voice cracking. "So, you changed your application to Capital for him? Turns out you're the one who changed your mind. You picked fights with Lily just to make an excuse for your wandering heart. And I felt guilty for so long." Jason never understood that his neglect of me for Lily time after time had led us here. I provoked him on purpose. "Yes, I went to Capital for him. Why should I wrong myself and stay in South City for you? Go to your Lily. Keep being the good guy." Before the semester started at Capital, we moved out of the villa we'd lived in for 3 years and went back to North City. Everything felt new. My parents took me to Hainan, and then we traveled together in Beijing for a while. We were climbing the Great Wall when a neighbor called my dad to say Jason had come by that morning looking for me. I checked the security footage. Jason rang the bell over and over, trying the door, but the realtor told him the villa was already listed for sale. The daughter of the original owners got into Capital University, the agent said, and the whole family left early to help her settle in. Jason stared at the shut door, the place dead quiet. The bustle and memories seemed to dissipate in an instant. When freshman year began, I adjusted quickly to the pace at Capital. Aside from the dry weather, everything was fine. I stopped deliberately asking about Jason, though sometimes I'd see chatter in the class group. Lily had enrolled at a junior college right across from Jason's university, but he seemed like a different person and ignored her completely. Some said they'd run into him at Southern. As a first year, he was already talking about grad school, and even changed his status line to, "See you at Capital in 4 years." Ethan knew I wasn't used to the climate and that my skin was dry, so he often brought me skincare products. "These are the brands the girls in my class use," he said. "Give them a try." I accepted them politely. "Thanks, Ethan." Ethan brought me into the robotics club where I met a lot of upperclassmen who all looked out for me. Our team was developing a senior care service robot, so outside of class we were often running to the lab. On Christmas Eve we worked late until 11 o'clock, and a light rain started. Ethan said since I hadn't brought an umbrella, he would walk me back to the dorm. From a distance I saw a familiar figure downstairs. Rain had soaked Jason, but his eyes were scanning each passerby. He stood under the women's dorm with a large bag, using his jacket to shield it. When he spotted me, he lit up and headed over, only for his gaze to fall when he noticed Ethan behind me holding the umbrella. "Summer, are you doing?" "Well, I came to see you." It had been a long time. Jason was much thinner, his face tired, a trace of melancholy in his eyes. I answered politely, "I'm doing well at Capital." Seeing that I was still willing to speak to him, Jason's mood seemed to lift. He shoved the bag in his hand at me. "You know what? The osmanthus are blooming in South City. I brought your favorite osmanthus cakes to see you. If you're free tomorrow, let's go out to eat." "Okay." It was like he'd used up all his strength, desperate for my answer. In his eyes there was a sincerity deeper than any time he tried to make peace before. But I remembered when we were 7, and Jason secretly took me out. We used our pocket money to buy osmanthus cakes and ate them under the osmanthus tree by the door. 7-year-old Jason dreamed out loud. "Summer, when we grow up, will we still sit here eating osmanthus cake together?" I laughed and said, "Of course we'll eat so many osmanthus cakes and never be apart." The sweetness of those pastries and those childhood promises felt like yesterday. In the past I would have softened already, but the prettier the memory, the sharper the hurt. Felt like Jason and I couldn't go back. Right in front of him, I tightened my hold on Ethan's arm and stated it again clearly. "Jason, I have a boyfriend now. Don't come to Capital to see me anymore. My boyfriend will get jealous." Jason froze where he stood, his voice trembling. "Since when are you dating? How do I not know? You're lying to me, right?" He kept shaking his head, refusing to believe it. I squeezed Ethan's arm harder, a silent plea. Ethan slipped an arm around my shoulders, his tone indulgent. "Knew it. You still care about me." I tilted my head at him. "Well, you are my boyfriend." Ethan stepped forward and told Jason, "The one closest to the water gets the moon. You missed your chance, so please bow out with some grace. I don't want you disturbing my girlfriend again." Rain pattered against the umbrella rim, every drop loud. I pulled Ethan along, but Jason called after me once more. "Summer, do I have no chance?" I shook my head without looking back. He pressed the bag into my hands. "I brought this all the way to North City from 1,000 miles away. Keep it." This time I didn't refuse. The rain came down harder. Ethan and I squeezed under the umbrella and walked back to the dorm. Jason broke down where he stood alone. When we were a good distance away, I let go of Ethan's arm. He tapped me lightly on the head. "So now you're cracking jokes with me. Aren't you afraid I'll take you seriously?" I smiled. "Your acting was pretty good." As we chatted, I opened the bag Jason had brought from South City. Inside were fresh osmanthus cakes and a delicate pink photo frame holding the picture we took at Southern University's gate after the entrance exam. Ethan stopped walking. The lazy lilt he usually had was gone. "We put on the act," he said softly. "Could we have one chance to make it real?" My breath hitched, my heart thudding. "I'll think about it." Jason's in, and my story ended in the height of that 18th summer. I needed to keep going and start a new life.